Welcome to our live interview with the writers from the Denton Record-Chronicle, powered in part by Classic of Denton. Well, hey everybody, we are coming at you live on DentonRadio.com with the man, the myth, the legend, Brett Vito of the Denton Record-Chronicle. He is the guy giving us all of the updates on all things Denton sports. What we got going on, Brett?
Well, there's actually quite a bit going on right now in Denton sports, especially over at the University of North Texas. It's a pretty exciting time for the program in football. North Texas did end up finishing the regular season off with a win over Rice on Saturday. A little bit closer game than probably what people expected, but they did end up pulling it off. I think at the final it's 30-14. They played without two of their best offensive players. Jeffrey Wilson is still out with their star running back, Jeff. He's still out with a foot injury he suffered in North Texas' win over Army. And North Texas also played without Jalen Guyton, their top receiver in terms of yards and touchdowns this last week after he was kind of still suffering from some lingering effects of a pretty big hit he took against Rice. And when he was in the not against Rice, but against Army, he was in the concussion protocol after that game. But they still ended up winning. That led to North Texas being 9-3 in the regular season, which is a tremendous regular season for them.
No kidding. That's
so
great.
Now the big question is how will they fare in the conference title game? They're going out to Florida Atlantic on Saturday. Atlantic was the one team that really gave them fits in conference play, beat them 69-31, and North Texas scored a couple of times late in that game. Really struggled to contain Jeff Driscoll and some of the other skill position players that Florida Atlantic has. So it'll be interesting. Lane Kiffin is a well-known name in college football. Mm-hmm. He was at Alabama as the offensive coordinator before that, and he's also at Tennessee and USC as the head coach. He was also the head coach of the Raiders for a while in the NFL. So they're going back to play them out at FAU again. So that's coming up on this Saturday. That'll be a real, big game for North Texas, an opportunity for them to win their first conference title since 2004. And then from then, it'll go on into the bowl season. North Texas will obviously play in a bowl. The question is where. Conference USA has a host of bowl tie-ins that they have. I think it's 6 primary and 1 secondary. They're the secondary tie-in for the Independence Bowl over in Shreveport. Only one of those bowls has been filled so far. UAB is going to the Bahamas Bowl. So the Bahamas is off the board, and it'll just depend on the way things play out. They could end up at the New Mexico Bowl. They could end up back in the New Orleans Bowl, which they played in 4 straight years from 2001 to 2004. There's the Gasparilla Bowl still out there. There's a lot of different possibilities, and we're just going to have to wait to see how things play out and what the conference champions have decided to do. If North Texas was to upset Florida Atlantic out there, they would have their first choice of places to go. We'll have to see where they want to go. And then if not, Atlantic would get its choice, and then North Texas would fall in after that. So that's kind of what's going on in football. Basketball season's getting ramped up here a little bit. We're getting into the season, kind of gradually here. It's the early part of the season. It kind of ramps up later in conference play. But North Texas the men, they do play tonight at home against Grambling. They've been kind of up and down with a tough schedule here early in the year. They're 3-3. They've won one, lost one, won one, lost one throughout their early schedule. And this will be a bit of an interesting game tonight. Grambling had a real tough schedule early on. They lost to VCU and one other major conference team that is escaping me. But they picked up their first win in their last game. So, they're coming in with a little bit of momentum. And then on Wednesday, I think it's Wednesday, you might want to double-check me on that if you're looking at tickets. But North Texas does play the women. They do play rival SMU this week. I think it's on Wednesday, so that'll be a big game for the North Texas women.
Very cool. Awesome. Well, great time in Denton for sports, which has not always been said in previous years. So, so that's good.
Yeah, and the high school playoffs are still going on. Denton Ryan, they did win over the weekend, so they're still in it. You might want to check in on the paper for that. Tickets are on sale for their next playoff game, so they're still in the thick of it. There are some regional teams that are still in it out there, so high school football playoffs. That's also another exciting thing that's kind of going on in the area here that you might want to check in on.
Very cool. All right. Well, you heard it here first with Brett Vito, everybody. Make sure you check out DentonRC.com or go pick up yourself a copy of the Denton Record-Chronicle and stay up to date with all things Denton sports. Thank you all again for tuning in. We always appreciate it. We will be back Monday again at 2 with Lucinda Breeding talking about Denton events. Thank you again for being here, Brett. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Well, thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to check out DentonRadio.com for new Denton artists and where they're playing next. While you're surfing the internet, make sure you check out our friends Classic of Denton at ClassicofDenton.com.